LLC QuickStart Guide, the simplified beginner's guide to forming a limited liability company, understanding LLC taxes, and protecting personal assets. Written by Matthew C. Lewis, Esquire. Narrated by Rick Bender. Copyright 2024 by ClydeBank Media LLC. Production copyright 2024 by ClydeBank Media LLC. Please note that your purchase of this audiobook includes a downloadable companion PDF containing all the figures and visual aids referenced throughout this audiobook. Your purchase of this audiobook also includes free lifetime access to the Digital Asset Vault, which contains supplemental resources that enhance the content of this audiobook and maximize the value of your purchase. We highly recommend accessing the companion PDF and digital assets for the best listening experience. Visit www.go.quickstartguides.com/LLC to access the vault and download your companion PDF and supplemental materials. Introduction. If you're thinking about starting a business or are actively planning to do so, you're in good company. More than 5 million businesses were started in 2022, according to data from the U.S. Census Bureau. That's the most of any year on record, except for 2021, when a whopping 5.4 million new business applications were filed. The upsurge in entrepreneurship began during the pandemic, when many people lost their jobs and got creative about other ways to make some money, or just decided they'd rather be on their own instead of working for somebody else. Whether or not the trend will continue remains to be seen, but I'm encouraged by the optimism and tenacity of so many people. I see some of these qualities firsthand because a good part of my time is spent advising clients or potential clients who are looking to start their own businesses, and it's a part of my work that I especially enjoy. A problem for a lot of people, though, is that they don't have the financial resources to hire someone like me to guide them through a business startup, including procedures like setting up a limited liability company, or LLC for short. There have been way too many times when someone has called or come to my office looking for guidance without having considered the fee I would need to charge them. I love to help people, but I can't work for free, meaning that those calls and visits often end in disappointment. After another batch of these phone calls recently, I got thinking about that dilemma and decided there was something I could do about it. When you get right down to it, the steps you need to follow and paperwork you need to file in order to start a business aren't all that difficult. If you know what you need to do and where to find the information you need, getting your own LLC up and running is something that most reasonably intelligent people can do without too much trouble. I thought if I could get the basic information someone would need to start their LLC outlined in a book, it could help a lot of folks who don't have the financial resources to hire a professional to walk them through the process. That's what I've endeavored to do, and I truly hope you'll use this book to educate yourself so that you'll be able to start your own LLC. To be clear, this isn't the only resource you'll need to open and run a business. I don't provide information about choosing a type of business that makes sense for you, or talk about market research, or take a deep dive into financials or marketing, or any of a number of topics you'll encounter once your business is established and operating. But I believe that if you use this book as a guide to getting an LLC set up and registered to do business, you'll be able to do that successfully. Another caveat I'll put out there is that this book is a general guide to starting an LLC and is not specific to any one state. I live and have my business, a professional LLC, registered in Texas, so that's the state and the laws I know best. The book, however, isn't about Texas LLCs. It's about LLCs in general and the rules that most often apply to them, even though those rules vary from state to state. It's important that you get familiar with the state where your LLC will be registered and gain an understanding of what's required and how LLCs must operate. I strongly recommend that you spend some time on the website that's relevant to your state, getting familiar with the offices you'll be dealing with and up to speed on information you'll need. I wish you all the best as you begin the journey of forming an LLC and getting your business started. I hope you'll take advantage of the digital assets that are included with this book and use the additional information contained in the appendices. I believe this book is your guide to getting you where you want to be quickly and as painlessly as possible. Let's get reading and make that happen. How this book is organized. The book is divided into 3 parts. The first part, Getting Started, is intended to provide the information you need in the earliest stages of figuring out your LLC. A business plan is integral to starting any type of business, so we'll spend a little time there before moving on to different kinds of business entities. I'm assuming you chose this book because you've decided to start an LLC, but you still will benefit from knowing what other entities are out there. This part of the book also takes into consideration that you might already be running a business as a sole proprietor or with a partner, but have never registered the business and are now looking for the protections and options that an LLC affords. Part 2, Getting Your LLC Up and Running, contains the nuts and bolts of the book with thorough discussions of articles of organization, a document that every state requires of LLCs, the all-important operating agreement that every LLC should have, how your LLC will be taxed, and whether you'll run it yourself or bring in a manager to do so. These are big topics, so be sure to spend the time you need on the 4 chapters within this part of the book. The third part, The Life Cycle of an LLC, advises on how to keep your business in compliance with your state and the importance of running your business with intention and integrity. The beauty of an LLC is the protection it offers from personal liability in the event of debt or a lawsuit, but that protection can be lost if you treat your LLC as an alter ego of yourself rather than a business. You'll find all the information you'll need regarding that scenario and how to avoid it. The last chapter in this section deals with closing down a business, which may seem counterintuitive in a book about starting an LLC. But businesses close for many reasons, some intentional and some not, and having a plan for how to do that can be beneficial. Chapter by Chapter. Part 1, Getting Started. Chapter 1, Getting Your Plan in Writing, lays out the importance of having a business plan and walks you through what a plan should include. A business plan is like a GPS as you get your business up and running. It will keep you on course and help you envision where you're going. Making a business plan doesn't need to be overly complicated. A simple plan is fine, and there are a variety of tools available to help you write the plan you need. As you read in the introduction, this book doesn't get into topics such as marketing strategies, products and/or services, or market analysis, but strategies for those areas of business should be contained within your business plan. You can think of your plan as big picture view of your business that will guide you as you narrow your focus to more specific topics. The structure and content of your business plan might vary depending on the type of business entity you decide to start, but regardless of whether you choose to operate as an LLC, a corporation, or opt against operating through a business entity altogether, you'll need to have a business plan. In Chapter 2, Different Types of Business Entities, you'll learn the basics about LLCs, sole proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations. Many people think that a business is a business, but they vary in the way that they're formed, taxed, the legal protections they offer, and how they're run. Once you understand the differences and complexities of each type of entity, you'll feel more confident about deciding to start an LLC, a decision that I think is right for just about every entrepreneur who's looking to start a business. Chapter 3, Deciding to Form an LLC, will help you understand what type of LLC will be best for your business. Most people set up what I call a standard LLC, but there are also specialty LLCs to consider. Once you've nailed down what type of LLC you want, you'll need to decide what state to register it in. You'll also learn about the steps you'll need to take to name your LLC. A lot of people start businesses without ever getting them registered or doing anything official about them. They simply start providing a service or selling a product on their own or with a partner. That's okay, but making your business official can provide advantages you don't get when you're operating on your own. Chapter 4, Changing a Current Business to an LLC, explains those advantages and walks you through the process of converting your business. Changing a different business entity to an LLC isn't overly complicated, and once you do, you'll be glad for the protections and flexibility it provides. Part 2, Getting Your LLC Up and Running. LLCs are regulated by the state in which they are registered, and rules vary significantly from one state to another. Every state, however, requires an LLC to file articles of organization. In Chapter 5, Articles of Organization, you'll learn why this document is important, what information it should contain, and how to go about writing and filing your articles. Chapter 6, Making the Big Decisions, Your LLC Operating Agreement, will guide you through the process of writing this essential document. Operating agreements are not legally required, but they're essential to a business, and I fully recommend that you spend some time and put together a good one. Once you get this,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?